This is Loretta Swit at 87. Final photo. New York City, May 2025. Gone. Now look at this one. 1972. She's 34. Army fatigues. Blonde curls. Hot lips. Houlihan walks onto the MASH set for the first time. Nobody knows she'll stay for 11 years. Nobody knows what happens after. So what did happen after the cameras stopped rolling? Passaic, New Jersey, 1937. A daughter born to Polish immigrants who don't want her anywhere near show business. But at age 7, little Loretta steps on stage for the first time. Something ignites. Her parents say no. She says, "Watch me." By high school, she's a cheerleader, basketball captain, and the star of every school play. The American Academy of Dramatic Arts accepts her. She's gone. New York in the 60s. Loretta trains with Gene Frankel. Repertory theater. Struggling. Waiting tables. Auditioning. The roles are small. The rejections pile up. But she's a singer too. Classically trained. That voice could have taken her to Broadway. Instead, she packs up and moves to Los Angeles in 1970 guest spots. Gunsmoke. Hawaii 5-0. Mission Impossible. Blink and you miss her. Then 1972. The Audition that changes everything. A new show about a mobile army hospital in Korea. Dark comedy. War satire. They need someone to play Major Margaret Houlihan, the uptight army nurse. Hot lips. The boys' club needs disrupting. Look at this early photo from the pilot. Notice her face. Stern. Controlled. That's who Hot Lips was supposed to be. The joke. The punchline. But watch what Loretta does over 11 seasons. She transforms that character from a cartoon into a human being. A woman with depth, pain, strength. The jokes don't land the same way anymore because you actually care about her. 2 Emmys, 8 nominations, 4 Golden Globe nods. MASH becomes one of the most important shows in television history. The finale in 1983 draws over 125 million viewers. Loretta is the only cast member in both the first and last episode. She stays. She fights for that character. She makes Major Houlihan matter. Then the show ends. Here's where it gets interesting. Most actors would ride that wave forever. Convention circuits. Reunion specials. Living in the past. Not Loretta. She walks away. Goes back to theater. The stage was always her first love. She wins the Sarah Siddons Award for her stage work. Critics praise her. But Hollywood? Hollywood forgets quickly. The roles dry up. The phone stops ringing. By the 90s, she's mostly doing TV movies. Small parts. Nothing close to MASH. This is what happens to women in Hollywood after a certain age. Especially women who choose not to play the game. Because here's what nobody talks about. Loretta Swit lived differently. She turned down marriage proposals for years. Waited until her 40s. In 1983, the year MASH ends, she marries Dennis Houlihan, an actor she met on set. Finally, right? The happy ending. Except it's not. 12 years later, they divorce. No children. No scandal. Just 2 people who couldn't make it work. After that, Loretta chooses something Hollywood rarely understands. She chooses herself. Look at these later photos. No red carpets. No desperate comeback attempts. She's painting, creating watercolor art, writing books about needlepoint, living in New York. And here's the part that really mattered to her: the animals. Loretta becomes vegan. Not for a trend. Not for publicity. Because she actually believes in it. She advocates for animal rights for over 40 years. PETA, rescue organizations. She fills her home with rescue pets, dogs, cats, the family she built herself. This photo shows her at an animal rights event. Older now, silver hair, but look at her eyes. Still fierce, still fighting, not for fame, for something that actually matters. Hollywood doesn't know what to do with women like that. Women who walk away from the spotlight, who don't need the validation, who build lives that mean something beyond box office numbers. So they forget. The roles stop. The interviews dry up. By 2019, her last film. Then silence. But here's what the tabloids missed. Loretta wasn't fading away. She was living close friendships with her MASH castmates that lasted decades. Alan Alda, Mike Farrell, real relationships, not publicity stunts. She showed up at events occasionally, always gracious, always herself, never desperate. May 30, 2025. Her home in New York City. Loretta Swit passes away at 87. No scandal, no tragedy, just a life fully lived on her own terms. The obituaries focus on MASH. Of course, they do. But look deeper at these private photos. A woman who chose stage over screen, animals over children, independence over marriage, activism over celebrity. She broke every rule about what female stars are supposed to do after their hit show ends. She didn't cling, didn't beg, didn't fade away desperate for relevance. Look at both photos again. Hot lips at 34. The final portrait at 87. Same woman, different uniform. She spent 11 years playing a character who learned to be more than what others expected. Then she spent the rest of her life doing exactly that. Loretta Swit proved you don't need to stay famous to matter. You don't need constant validation to have value. You can walk away from the biggest show on television and build something quieter, deeper, and more meaningful. The world wanted her to be Hot Lips forever. She chose to be Loretta instead. That's the untold story.